Hi film fans, my name's Sam and welcome to It's Only a Film. Today I'm going to talk about 5 movies that are secretly copies of other movies. But before we begin, don't forget to leave a like in the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get the latest content as soon as it's uploaded. History repeats itself, and when something's a success, filmmakers will try and recapture that magic time and time again. All they need when trying to follow the success of another film is enough variations for that project to pass as something of its own. A few name changes here, a touch of paint there, and a dash of borrowed plot points, and voila! New movie. Sometimes this works and the film is a success, and sometimes it doesn't. So, with that being said, here are 5 movies that are secretly copies of other movies. Oh, and one more thing, Avatar is not on this list. I know it's a copy of Dances with Wolves, everyone makes that comparison. I'm hopefully going to tell you about a few less obvious comparisons. So, let's begin. When talking about film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came first, well before Daredevil. However, Daredevil actually debuted in comics way back in 1964, and the Turtles never made their comic book debut until 1984, a whole 20 years later. Now, if this list was comparing who came first in comics, Daredevil would certainly win. However, in the world of film, the Turtles beat Daredevil by a whole 13 years. Ninja Turtle creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird freely admit that they were heavily influenced by the Daredevil comic. However, due to the Turtles toy range and their cartoon series, their popularity skyrocketed way above anything Daredevil could have hoped for at the time. And that's why the Turtles were the first to get the live action movie debut. Well, what are the comparisons? Why don't you tell me if any of these sound familiar? Our characters come in contact with a radioactive substance which gives them abilities. There is a wise old mentor that teaches them how to hone their abilities using martial arts. Our heroes then use their abilities to fight crime from the shadows of New York City. Their arch rivals are leaders of underground criminal organisations. Now for the Turtles, you have the Shredder, and for Daredevil, you have the Kingpin of Crime. And out of the two films, I have to admit I'm more a fan of the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. It has a certain charm about it, it can be quite dark at times, but it has a good balance of humour. Also, when you compare it to 2003's Daredevil, the only thing I can really think of that stands out is Colin Farrell as Bullseye. Thankfully, Daredevil's on-screen reputation would be redeemed with Netflix's series starring Charlie Cox. Right, stop me when you know what film I'm talking about. A team of professionals travel to a mysterious island and find gigantic beasts. There is a plan to capture the gigantic beasts and transport them off the island via a boat in order to make them an attraction at a zoo in a major American city. In the end, this doesn't quite go to plan and there is a creature rampage through the city with plenty of carnage and destruction, with people running terrified from the chaos. Now, if that seems familiar to you, then you have probably seen Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park sequel, or any version of King Kong for that matter, as they basically follow the same plot premise. The original King Kong is a cinematic classic, and each time that special effects have advanced significantly, the film has been remade, with the excellent, if maybe a little too long, 2005 Peter Jackson adaptation being the most recent. You can't blame Spielberg for using King Kong as a template when it came to making The Lost World, as it's an all-time classic. The Lost World is King Kong but with dinosaurs, and personally, I prefer The Lost World. I just find it to be a lot more exciting than any version of King Kong. I get it, King Kong is a cinematic classic. It's one of the all-time favourite movies. It really did set the bar for movie monsters way back in 1933, and I understand why it's a story that people feel has to keep being told time and time again. But for me, I like my dinosaurs, and I just prefer The Lost World. That's right, Liam Neeson's hard-hitting thriller that started the dadsploitation movie craze of putting a well-known older male actor in what's mostly poorly made action films is secretly a copy of Finding Nemo. Is it just me that's crazy, or does this sound so familiar? An overprotective single dad uses everything in his power to track down their child from across the world before they are given away to someone to own. Fair be it, one is a little more darker than the other, a few more sinister plot points involved, however, it's essentially the same. Finding Nemo was a hugely successful film for Disney, so it's no surprise that its formula would be imitated by other films. I just never figured it would be a film like Taken that would try and emulate Finding Nemo, but maybe it was a happy accident, or a conspiracy. Anyway, out of the two films, I definitely prefer Finding Nemo. It's a timeless family classic. Not to take anything away from Taken, as it is a really enjoyable film and a success in its own right, which started its very own franchise. And if you ever wanted Finding Nemo but with more guns, then Taken is the film for you. Okay, so Predator 2 isn't an exact copy of Aliens, and everyone who's seen it has seen the Easter egg of the alien skull at the end of the film. However, that's not what I'm going to talk about. There's a lot more to it than just that scene, and that's why it's on this list. The whole scene with the team infiltrating the Predator's hideout in the meat warehouse is almost an exact copy of the scene in Aliens where the Marines are infiltrating the alien hive. In both films, the scene has a control room where the team are being monitored on screens. The team starts getting killed off by the aliens in both films. The film's protagonist starts to yell at the people in the command room to get the team out of there. However, their pleas are ignored. And finally, our main protagonist springs into action to save the remainder of the team from the alien monsters. But the similarities don't end there, as the ending of both films takes place on a spaceship, and both films introduce mature leader variations of each of the movie monsters. We have the Queen Alien, and we have whoever this guy is, this Predator guy, whoever he is. Now, Aliens is by far the superior movie, but it's clear the people behind Predator 2 were huge fans of Aliens and wanted to pay homage in one way or another. What's that saying again? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery? Now, I noticed this the very first time I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2. For me, I thought it was so similar to Batman Forever, you'd think they were made from the same DNA. Right, here are the similarities. Spider-Man and Batman are both dealing with a deep-rooted family trauma. There is a mystery surrounding the death of Peter's parents, and then there's something to do with a red book that belonged to Bruce's father. Max Dillon becoming Electro is so similar to Edward Nygma becoming the Riddler, in that Max is obsessed with Spider-Man and the Riddler is obsessed with Bruce Wayne. Both are mistreated scientists, one working for Wayne Tech and the other working for Oscorp. They both get their feelings hurt by their idols, which is the catalyst in them becoming bad. Harry Osborn goes to Electro for help in taking down Spider-Man. The Riddler goes to Two-Face for help in taking down Batman. The villains in each movie then team up to try and take down our movie's heroes. Now you tell me there isn't similarities in those plots. But look, there's other weird coincidences with this. Listen to this. Both films have the titular hero portrayed by the second actor to take up the role in a major film, with Andrew Garfield following Tobey Maguire and Val Kilmer following on from Michael Keaton. Granted, the two films do have their differences, with The Amazing Spider-Man 2 having a lot more stuffed into its runtime, which in all honesty doesn't really make it any better. To be honest, these two films aren't great. Now they're okay, and your preferred choice would come down to whether or not you preferred Spider-Man or whether you preferred Batman. For me, personally, I am more of a Batman fan, so I tend to lean more towards Forever. But I was born in the 80s, to me Batman is Michael Keaton, so maybe I'm just a little bit biased. Well film fans, thanks for watching the video. That was 5 movies that I think are secretly copies of other movies. Let me know in the comments if you agree with any of my choices, and if you can think of any other films that are secretly copies of other movies, then please let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please like the video, subscribe to the channel, there'll be a lot more videos coming your way. Bye for now.